Yeah, we're back.
Yeah.
Thought you'd see the last of me? Probably not. I mean, I don't understand why you would. But we are here to go over some fantasy football things. Some injuries that have affected us all. Some recent pickups.
Yep.
Oh my god. Some NFL games that were like, whoa, that shouldn't have happened. And some others that were like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And future NFL games where we will decide, between those two options.
Yeah. So do you want to go over the games?
Yeah, that's typically what
The
we
game,
do.
yeah. Game.
So week 8, we're finally halfway through the NFL season.
I'm 5-3. Wait, how? What?
Well, as far as fantasy goes, we've been well
Yeah.
into halfway through the regular season. Yeah, and I think the playoff teams are looking pretty clear, but anything can happen still. So box score, let's get right into
So we're
it.
week 8.
All right, so I had to fucking flop against this guy over here. It
You were
was bad.
so confident going into this
I
week
was.
that you would beat me. You were so confident. I didn't. Yeah.
And no, but you wouldn't have expected this either. You expected me to win.
Yeah, but yeah.
Because, okay, Aaron Rodgers didn't have a great game.
Still more than projected though. Yeah.
Yeah, but he should always have more than projected. It's Aaron Rodgers.
That is true.
Kareem Hunt didn't get a lot of carries for some reason, and he was limited on yards in general. Mike Davis had a really bad start, so they started giving it to the other backups on that team, which I didn't even know existed. Tyler Lockett got almost no targets. Just kidding. He got 5, which is not as bad as some of his other performances when DK Metcalf goes off, but still not great. Kittle got injured late in the game, but even before that, he was not getting a lot of targets. Also Garoppolo got injured, so that was bad.
Yeah.
And then Robbie Anderson also not getting a lot of love from Teddy Bridgewater because the Atlanta defense finally kind of cramped in on them somehow.
Yeah, and then the Samuel guy for them was seeing more bulk of the carries and touches. He had 2 touchdowns in the first half, so I think that's why Robbie Anderson didn't get many touches.
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, that was my whole lineup. Just all of them basically flopped.
Yeah.
Except Stephon Diggs, who did just average. And then in my
Colts
bench,
defense.
Colts. I mean, Colts defense.
Yeah.
They always do well.
Yeah, that is
Rodrigo
true.
Blankenship missed 2 extra points though, which was sad. I'm gonna put in Young Hoku next time. Keenan Allen did good on the bench, and Travis Kelce did good on the bench. I didn't think Travis Kelce would do that great against the Jets, but I guess so.
Well, I mean, I feel like the Chiefs didn't put much of a gas pedal. Bless you. They didn't put much of a gas pedal on the Jets. They just kept pushing forward, but they didn't let up on the gas pedal at all.
They weren't trying to go for the deep ball. They were just maintaining possession. And so Kelsey's kind of that mid-ground. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I'm definitely putting in Keenan Allen next week and Travis Kelce because now Kittle's out for 8 weeks. Kittle says he'll be out only 2. But no. At minimum, 6. That's what I'm going to say.
And then on my side didn't even do that great either. It was literally Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf that got all my points because Metcalf got 12 receptions for 160 yards.
Fulgham did good.
And 2 touchdowns. Oh yeah, and Fulgham did good too. And then, but it was Fulgham, Wilson, and Metcalf that carried my entire team. And Lutz did good actually too for a kicker. But
he 4 for 5 field goals, 2 extra points. That game, was very kick heavy.
And so Russell Wilson getting a big game as he usually does. There's literally no bad games that come out of Russell Wilson. Josh Jacobs, he did 128 yards, but he didn't get any receptions and or touchdowns, so he underachieved. Ronald Jones, I think, Fournette got most of the carries, so he also underperformed.
Yeah, Ronald Jones fumbled early in the game, so they started giving it Fournette more.
Yeah, and then freaking Calvin Ridley got like injured halfway through the game. It was like halfway through the second quarter. I was so sad because
he was telling me he was like defeated, like, oh, you're gonna win now.
Yeah, because like after Calvin Ridley, I was expecting him to be like my biggest performer.
What happened to Goddard?
And then Goddard, I think I shouldn't have put him in, but I think they were just nursing his injury. They didn't want him to get full like targets right away because of his injury. So they were like let go of the gas a little bit on him. But I think
maybe it was just like it was clear they were gonna win at a certain point. So
yeah, that too. And then it's his first game back since like week 3, so it's like they didn't want him to put a lot of pressure on him catching the balls. But my bench did my bench did terrible. But Miles Sanders and Michael Thomas were both like they didn't play, so that doesn't count. Yeah, so my entire bench flopped, but that doesn't matter because I put the right people in at the right time.
We're not really centered in the frame.
It's gonna stay like that.
Oh my gosh, there's so much room over here. You can see everything. Maybe I should. No. Next matchup. Oh yeah, so you're now 5-3, right?
Yeah, and then
I'm 4-4.
Maybe this gets me out of my little stump that I was in.
Yeah, he was in a little slump, and now he's back in the running.
Yeah.
I was in the running. I was running, and now I'm in a little slump. But
Yeah.
projection-wise, I'm just looking to have a really great day next week. But we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
The other matchup that happened was not really that close,
Huh?
but like
I think it's the closest out of
this week. But like
Yeah.
we've had really close games in the past.
Yeah, this hasn't been closest of the year, but closest of this week.
Mm-hmm.
It was Brendan versus Trey, the Diabetic Nation versus Comp Team
The only matchup that had two teams with over 100 points. So
Yeah.
that is saying something. Now, Diabetic Nation actually did pretty good overall. They didn't have anyone that like really flopped, and that is like where they started, having confidence, I guess you can say. But the key members that are supposed to be like really getting them a lot of points didn't do exactly that. They just kind of remained at,
average
or just okay. So like Derrick Henry and Juju Smith-Schuster, because they've become a more diverse receiving group over time now. Gallup too. Gronk has actually been showing up a bit more. He was even considering dropping Gronk at a certain point. So I'm glad. I mean, he's glad, I'm sure, that he didn't.
I think it's his third straight touchdown or third straight game with a touchdown, I think. Is it?
Looks like it, yes.
Yes.
So Mahomes did really well, though, against the Jets. Like, I mean, as expected. Or maybe not even as expected, because, you shouldn't. I mean, once you have that big of a lead, like, why are you still feeding Mahomes? But they just wanted Mahomes to have a field day, so I guess so.
Maybe they really want him to be the MVP this year.
Yeah, I guess so. His defense ended up with 0 points, though, because of playing the Chargers. That kind of just happens, though.
Yeah.
In those close games, like, even with a win, just, like, your offense kind of carried at that point. McManus, though, 7 points, not bad. They didn't go for a lot of field goals. Yeah, and then on Brendan's side, people just really popped off for him. So Tyreek Hill had probably his best game in a while, because I don't remember him having like great games. Yeah, his last like. Okay, so this is his second best in terms of yardage. His first best was against the Chargers when that went to overtime when he got 99 yards. And this was a 98-yard game against the Jets off of only 4 receptions. He hasn't had a 100-plus yard game yet, which is
That's
wild.
crazy.
But he had 2 touchdowns, so that made up for it. And Robert Woods for the Rams, who is not typically the guy that ends up getting the ball a lot. It's typically Kupp.
Yeah, it's 7 receptions, 85 yards, a touchdown, and then 2 rushing carries that added up to 9 yards and a touchdown. So
this is a guy I traded to him for Boyd, but then I later dropped Boyd. So,
yeah.
I mean, looking at his track record, like, it's okay.
I mean, he had 2 flops. Other than those, he's decent.
Who else did really well? Alvin Kamara, of course.
Alvin Kamara always does well. If he doesn't do well, like his worst game is like only like 19 points in our fantasy league, which is crazy.
Yeah, because he's like one of the receiving leaders of the league as well, which is crazy. Aaron Jones was out, so he managed to beat him even with that happening.
That happened last week when Brendan beat me, because this is the second week in a row where Aaron Jones got 0 points, but he still ended up like winning confidently. That's just how good his roster is.
But the biggest overperformer for him was the Eagles defense.
Damn straight. I should have picked up
one defensive touchdown, 2 fumble recoveries, 4 sacks, 1 safety, and only 9 points allowed.
Dude, that's crazy. I'm so jealous that the Eagles did well for him, but like I'm so happy that the Eagles did well. But that was a good pickup by him. Brendan's probably the scariest person to play as of this week and overall, because like he's just scary. All of his players always like overperform, and even when the couple of players that don't, like he didn't have Aaron Jones and DeAndre Swift only got 5 points, like he's still like able to beat people comfortably without having to worry about it, which is super scary. And I don't want to play him in the playoffs.
Wow.
Like, he's the scariest out of everyone so far.
Really? You think so?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty scary.
Yeah, okay. You got 96 points. And how many points did you get the week before? 105?
Chill.
Brendan
two bad weeks. I don't like my best player was out. He's coming back. Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but like I'll be scared once you start averaging crazy amount of points.
What do you mean?
Like Brendan.
Before these past 2 weeks, I had the most amount of points.
Really?
Yeah.
But still, like the previous week, Brendan got 167 points and he got 148 points again.
I don't get, like, these were really bad bye weeks for me, though, as well, because Colts were out. Colts had the bye week, that first week that I started doing poorly. And then last week, who did I have out again? Oh, yeah, Kyler Murray.
Yeah, but still.
What do you mean, but still? Kyler Murray is the guy who has gotten the most fantasy points in the entire NFL. So, of course, I'm going to be down. And Chris Carson was out.
Yeah, but still.
Like, but still. What?
Like, yeah, but considering the past 2 weeks, you haven't been doing that good. Yeah, you went on that 4-game stretch of winning, but I don't know.
I feel like my peak is much better than everyone else. Like, my projected peak is much scarier than what Brendan's would be.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just more scared to play
I think
him.
I have a more well-rounded roster than him. I think he has some scary players for sure, but I think mine is way more well-rounded.
If it was more well-rounded, well, then why didn't you get a lot of points?
Dude, I already talked to you about why. That it's 2 bad weeks and injuries and buys. My worst bye weeks, probably.
Yeah, but if it was well-rounded, the bye weeks wouldn't matter, and your backup team would have been lifted.
It's still fine.
Yeah. I'm just saying I'm more scared to play Brendan.
I don't understand that at all.
I don't know. Just because.
Who are you scared of? Kamara,
Hill. If he has
Hill hasn't had a 100+ yard game.
That doesn't matter. You still got a lot of points.
Because Kelsey is the other guy who's getting touchdowns. Like you can't depend on that.
Yeah, but still.
I don't agree with you.
Okay.
I feel like these past 2 weeks, you're looking at recency. You're doing recency bias. That's what this is. Recency bias.
Yeah, I'm just saying, as of now, as the Brendan's heating up and you're not the past couple of weeks.
Well, let's look at the projections for the final standings. How about that? Look who's up ahead of Brendan.
Why are you getting so?
You and I.
Yeah,
we're ahead of Brendan.
Yeah,
that's right. So don't be scared.
I'm just saying.
Neither of us should be scared of him.
Yeah.
There you
go. Okay.
Anyways, Sophia Esposito Fries beat Licia's Half Lesbians Lesbians because it was Halloween weekend and I kind of forgot to send out like a whole memo to everyone who doesn't usually check up on their teams that their teams aren't updated, and that's kind of what happened in Licia's case. Would she have won regardless? Let's find out. So she had Devontae Adams in, which was really good, but she had Cam Newton in, which was really bad. But she had Julio Jones in, which was pretty good. But then she had Tyler Higbee, which was really bad. And then Clyde Edwards-Helaire, also not good. Because they didn't rush at all that game, which is like, why? You have the lead, just rush.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't get it. But if she put in Allen Robinson, then her total would have been up to 104 because he had a really good game. Touchdown, 87 yards, 6 catches. Hunter Henry instead of Higbee. A.J. Brown instead of... Who dies?
I don't think she would have won.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Her kicker, maybe she swapped her kicker. But other than that, no. I think she would have just still been around the 110, 120 range, whereas Esposito Fries got 133.
Yeah.
Because Esposito Fries had Dalvin Cook, a 50-point game in our league, which translates to 30 carries, wild, for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, and then a passing touchdown as well. Receiving, I should say. Sorry.
I was going to say you had a pass.
Receiving touchdown, yeah, I'm sorry.
I had Dalvin Cook I did FanDuel, and I had him in my FanDuel week, and he won me $2.
Not bad.
But our team didn't. Well, I guess they did really well.
Everyone
a few
else,
flops.
Everyone else did pretty bad actually, except Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Miles Gaskin,
Chiefs.
Darren Waller, oof.
I say
Thielen, ugh.
If
Elliott, ugh.
if
Josh Allen, terrible. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
If a defense can get 10 or more points, it's good in my books.
Well, so. I didn't look at those. Defense 10, whatever. That's not going to carry the rest of the flops, though.
Yeah.
Like, if it's a 20+, then maybe, but no. Her kickers also both did bad, so swapping those out regardless would have been whatever. But she told me, actually, some insider info that going forward, Justin Herbert is going to be her starter quarterback. So,
ooh, really? Wait.
Yeah, Herbert had
21 points.
Yeah, 278 yards during his loss, 3 touchdowns, but he also had 2 interceptions.
He doesn't usually throw picks, so maybe.
Yeah, I feel like who's he playing next? Las Vegas. I think he can make a little comeback.
Yeah.
And show the world that he's not terrible.
I mean, he threw interceptions.
Okay, I don't think anyone thinks he's terrible. I think everyone's like, yeah, this guy could definitely be the truth.
Wait, he started week 2? I thought he started much later than that. I don't know why. But So like he's been getting a lot of touchdowns, so that's probably a smart move.
He was gonna start a lot later, but Tyrod Taylor got injured, and then he remained the starter because Tyrod Taylor ended up way more injured than everyone thought. You know, the whole like doctor thing.
Yeah,
that was like a whole controversy.
That was crazy.
Yeah, so those are our things. We'll go into actual NFL games that we tried to predict, but Caleb failed to do.
This was my roughest week.
It was his worst week. He went 7-7, 50% of picks. I went 9-5. That's 64% of picks, which only 2 games better.
Yeah, but I'm still winning in the overall
by one.
But so the Carolina game, no one.
I'm so weirded out. Like Carolina can do some really great things. Like in their 3 wins, they look so strong, but in their losses, they just look lost.
Yeah.
And it's very confusing. I don't even know what the issue is. Is it just inconsistency from Bridgewater? Is it coach play calling from Matt Rule? Defense, I know, is a big issue, but like it's not like they let Atlanta have a lot of points, whereas Atlanta has the capability of getting a lot of points. So I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
They just kind of flop.
Against
the team that flops the most.
Yeah. You'd think that the Panthers would like turn it on later down the game, but they just never did because the Falcons just kept rolling like the first couple of drives. Even though they got field goals, they just still had control. So
yeah, it was still kind of a fun game to watch. They were doing some like a lot of trick plays I saw, or like I don't know. The Carolina offense is just really fun, even when they don't like score them a lot.
Yeah.
And with Christian McCaffrey coming back, well, everyone thinks he's coming back this upcoming week.
I'm so glad he's coming this week and not the week that I played you.
Oh, God.
And then Buffalo, New England, Buffalo. That was a closer game than what was. Or that was a closer game than Buffalo I thought it
Bills
was.
They're like tanking. Like they started off so well and all of a sudden like so bad.
I feel like
we're seeing that from the Titans as well.
Yeah, I feel like they're always that one team that always has a good record, or at least the past few years, but they're not living up to their standards. They're like the Houston Texans a couple years ago when they were like 12-4.
Luckily for the Bills, though, Cam Newton has been even worse, and Belichick has gotten very defensive over why things are not going well in New England, such as him saying that they have no cap space to improve on their depth, because they won like a lot of Super Bowls, and they just cashed in on all those years, and now they're out of cash.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And so it's gonna take a while to recover from it. And they got Cam Newton for like the cheapest of the cheap.
Yeah.
And that's an MVP, a previous MVP.
Yeah.
But right now he's not showing up to that reputation, to that bar that everyone set for him.
Yeah, I mean, I thought Cam Newton was going to play a lot better than he is, and he was playing for the first couple of games, but I don't know why he's playing so terrible the last few games. He's just...
What did I say? Remember the beginning of the season I said New England's not going to look good.
Yeah, and then I think he's on pace to have like the fewest touchdowns in a season. But, yeah.
Holy shit.
And then the Cincinnati-Tennessee
Cincinnati's looking great.
Yeah.
Like... record-wise, you might not believe it, but Joe Burrow has looked really good. Probably going to break some of those Andrew Luck records that I really hope he doesn't, but whatever.
Yeah, so I picked the Titans to win, and he picked the Bengals. But
I did, in the massive upset that it was, because everyone has been on Titans' dick for a while, so it was really nice to see that.
Yeah, I was glad that happened too, but I just thought that the Titans were just a better team.
No, their defense has been slacking.
Yeah, well, the Bengals, they don't have any chance to go to the playoffs, but...
Yeah, not in their division.
Yeah, they have the Ravens, Cleveland, and the Steelers, just all three good teams, but, like, hey, you can still, like, do good, and Joe Burrow's just making a case to be a starter for next year.
Yeah, he's definitely proven that he's going to be the starter for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Barring any, like, extreme circumstances.
And then the Browns, Raiders. I picked the Browns and he picked the Raiders. That was a low-scoring game. I didn't expect that out of Cleveland. They just had a high-powered offense and stuff.
Odell's gone.
Yeah, so I think that's why.
And Chubb.
So they're just getting injury-ridden, and their offense and team as a whole is just declining from there.
Yeah, I forget exactly why I said Raiders, but I wasn't confident. Wait, so what was Cleveland's last game? I forget what it was.
It was the Bengals game when they...
Oh, yeah, that really close one. I was like, you know what? I'm not that convinced. Whereas, like, Raiders, they have, like, every now and then have, like, surprising performances. I was like, I think Raiders will come on top, and they did.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a 50-50, honestly.
Colts, Detroit.
Yeah, the Colts did great.
Yep.
I don't really have much to say on that. Phillip Rivers, when he looks good, we're unstoppable. But it's all a matter of can he keep it up. And the only issue right now is our rushing offense, because Jonathan Taylor was getting stopped really early, but then later in the game they started using our fourth string, who's like actually really our third string now that Marlon Mack is injured. His name is Jordan Wilkins, and he started doing really well, but like I don't know, like it still wasn't enough for me to be confident about the rush going forward when this is supposed to be primarily like a rush team. I think everyone's just still recovering from the fact that Marlon Mack is gone, and they prepared so much for that running scheme with Marlon Mack, and Jonathan Taylor's just a different runner. Naheem Hines, is, as we've seen with his 2 receiving touchdowns, is like more of a receiving back than a rushing guy. He's also a special teams returner as well. So it's just not a stable situation there. Other than that, defense is so good. And that's it.
Yep. Green Bay versus Vikings. Vikings with the upset. That was crazy. Dalvin Cook just like freaking control that entire team. Did he have all the touchdowns? Or did he have Yeah, he had 3 rushing and then a receiving, so he had all the touchdowns for the Vikings, which was crazy.
Yeah, Green Bay couldn't get anything going late in the game. Vikings defense, mainly the defensive line, because everyone knows that their secondary is kind of meh. But their defensive line just kept pressuring Aaron Rodgers, and he just stumbled. It was not looking good.
Yeah. Weird game. Green Bay's like, when they're good, but once they're bad, they're bad. But
their losses look like
really bad.
Oof.
Chiefs, Jets, easy win. Not much to say here. Just we all expected the Chiefs to win. Rams versus the Dolphins. The Dolphins won completely by their defense.
Yeah, that was not what anyone expected. I don't think anyone was like, "Oh, Miami defense." You know?
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about Aaron Donald and that defense. So to see the flop or like the flip,
yeah,
in the circumstances was very interesting. Tua looked okay in the limited time he had out there. You know, he still has a lot to prove. I think he's just kind of rusty as well.
He had a touchdown though.
Yes, everyone's been talking about that one touchdown.
So the Pitt versus Baltimore game, that was a close one.
Very, very fun and angry. Everyone was angry at each other.
Yeah.
At each other's throats.
I feel like this is one of the heated rivalries in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Pitt Ravens, that's always a big, huge rivalry. Everyone's angry at each other.
I remember I just put question marks for this, and I was just going to wait for you to choose one so I could choose the other.
Yeah.
Because I really had no idea. It was a 50-50. I was like, he'll take 150, I take the other. I thought that'd be fun.
Yeah.
And you got that chance right. You got Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Lamar Jackson just played a terrible game. I feel like it should have been a bigger blowout than it was, but it was just a sloppy game in the first half. I didn't get to watch the second half, but I just projected that the Pitt's defense is just way too good. Lamar Jackson is not looking good, and that the Steelers defense would be able to stop that, or at least stop it enough to have the Steelers offense score a few points, and that's what it ended up happening.
The thing that people aren't being aware of right now when it comes to Pittsburgh is that Pittsburgh offense actually wasn't looking that great against Baltimore. Against some of these better defenses in the league, they might stumble, but they keep getting bailed out by that Pittsburgh defense.
Yeah.
And so...
Oh, it stopped.
So I'm just saying it'll just be interesting when Pittsburgh has to play a team that is more well-rounded, where like... Well, actually, Ravens is well-rounded. I don't know. I feel like...
Well, I mean...
The Pittsburgh Steelers defense just has to slump one game in order to lose against one of the better defenses in the league. Like Colts will have to play them, so I feel like Colts defense can definitely hold them to very little. But I feel like they can equally return that, like their defense against our offense. So
yeah,
who knows how that's going to?
It's just up to the offense in that game, I think.
But considering that Colts are a very similar team to Pittsburgh, a better defense than offense. And that we played Ravens next makes me a bit confident. We'll see. We're both 5-2, so
Chargers, Denver. That no one was expecting that. Chargers was just looking so good, even despite their record, but they were just looking so good with Justin Herbert throughout the entire.
Yeah, Denver's wins were not that great. It was just depending on the other offense to choke, so the defense could look better, but like they really didn't. Cam Newton was just really bad, and Titans ended up just going for field goals and missing them. So, Titans didn't win that. I mean, Titans still won that.
Yeah, but it was a closer game.
Who was their other win? Denver's other win. Jets? It was Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't even look good for Denver either. The one team where you're supposed to look good against, they did not. So.
Yeah, but Denver just pulled that out of their ass and made a huge comeback because the Chargers were dominating, and I think they just let off the gas, which why they came back.
So sad. But
Bears.
also their running back Eckler, is that his name, is still injured. I don't know when or if he's coming back.
Yeah.
Anytime soon, but I think they need him in order to make their last final push in this league towards something. I don't know what they're aiming for anymore, but
I don't even think they have a chance at the playoffs anymore.
I don't know. I mean, if they'll have to play Denver again, and I don't know if they've played the Raiders yet so far this season, but they have to play two of those.
And they still have to play the Chiefs too.
Well, they went to overtime with the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So obviously they've shown that they can get those divisional matchups close. They just need the wins.
The closest that you could possibly come to winning by 1 point loss.
Yeah. So I got Saints over your Foles' Bears.
Yeah, Foles is just looking awful. I've given up hope on him.
I mean, it was still a close game.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's just making dumb decisions. Like, when he's bad, he's a little bit below mediocre, but like when he's good, he's like MVP level good. But he's not showing that, and it's very rare to get an MVP level Nick Foles. And even when you do get it, it's only in short bursts too. You're not going to get it for that long. He just doesn't have it this season. So yeah, I was sad to see that.
And that was a game where one of the players punched one of the other players.
That was so funny.
Yeah, great times. Seahawks beat the 49ers. 49ers were looking okay to start the game. Obviously, like, Metcalf was getting a lot of touchdowns, but, like, 49ers was keeping up, and then injuries once again to the same players as well, Kittle and Garoppolo.
$80 million on the IR this year. $80 million.
It's like everyone was starting to say, oh, they have a winning record now. Like, they can actually, like, bring it back in the hardest division in the league, and then it just falls apart all over again. It's so sad to watch.
Well, I mean, you have to think they are in the hardest division too again, so they're going to have to play all those teams twice.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be hard to even win in that.
Yeah, it's so unfortunate. But Eagles
finally got it. I'm not proud of that win. I said it during the reaction video, but like, even though it was a 23-9 win, one being off a defensive touchdown, it's just Wentz is making poor decisions. Like, he's had one good throw. It was a dime to Fulgham in the touchdown. That was probably his best throw of all of season. But like, other than that, he's just 2 interceptions, 2 fumbles. That's unacceptable for getting paid $100 million. I think.
And this is the defense that was a laughing stock early on in this season.
Yeah.
In
Dallas. So like, I don't know what's up. I'm going to go more in depth because the Eagles have a bye this week, so I'm not going to be posting reaction videos. So I'll probably post like mid-bye or like mid-season recap of what my thoughts are to replace that. So I'll go in more in depth into that. So that was just like a little teaser into that, but just not proud of that one.
Okay. Oh yeah, Brady's Bucks.
Yeah, that was so close.
Barely against Jones's Giants. I don't know what happened there. Like, Giants just actually was doing good against that defense, and then Brady was not making any of his throws. And that's all it came down to. Everyone was talking about Brady, like coming into this game, like, oh, he's so great.
Yeah, and like overhyping him, and then he just like flopped this game.
I mean, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was overhyped. Like, he was putting up the numbers.
Yeah, that is true.
But he completely failed that night.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think you're going to have those games, a few games like that during the season, or a couple at least.
This is prime time Brady against fucking this team,
the
Giants.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for some reason, Giants always had a number versus the Patriots when Tom Brady was on the Patriots. So I guess the Giants always just have a number on Tom Brady himself. So like, I have no idea how the Giants always make it so close versus like Tom Brady, like, because Giants won the 2 Super Bowls against Brady,
and they were not the favorites.
Yeah, but I don't understand what the Giants versus Tom Brady is.
I wish someone could explain it to me in depth. Just like, this is what they have over him. But like, it's been a whole decade. Like, you'd think that things have changed. But
even in the regular season, when the Giants played the regular season versus the Patriots, they still made it close and or won.
That's wild. Okay. This next upcoming week, we have some fantastic matchups for you. But first, a word from us. No. What the fuck is going on? I hate ESPN. I don't.
Yeah, but
you can start talking about yours.
Okay, so I have a 59% win probability to beat Trey, and
has he updated his roster?
Yes.
First thing you have to look at.
I think because he doesn't have any buys. I don't think he's updated, but he doesn't have any buys on it, so it's not like a buy is diminishing that at all.
Okay.
But I like even my projected is 136 and his projected is 114. Even with like over a 20-point like differential, I don't trust that. Especially how last week when I beat Titus, that went down because he had a 20-point like win probability over me. So like I'm taking that with a grain of salt. But I feel like I can finally beat Trey. I haven't beat Trey yet, but I feel confident this week. And when I'm confident, that means I'm gonna lose. But so.
Wow. Okay.
But I have Russell Wilson.
Please don't lose against Trey again.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I hope I win. I need this win. But
well, I especially need Trey to lose because I don't want to end up behind in my division.
That would be so bad. But I have Russell Wilson. I am feeling confident with Russell Wilson DK Metcalf duo because Buffalo's defense is not looking good and they're really bad against receivers just in general. I think they're one of the worst teams against receivers. Josh Jacobs versus the Chargers, I'm confident in that. And then Connor versus Dallas. If Steelers get a big lead early, then they're probably going to run the ball, so I'm confident in that. I'm going to skip Michael Thomas and Calvin Ridley for now, but I have Smith as tight end. I'm confident about that. And the Steelers are Patriots. Patriots defense. Only reason why I'm putting the Patriots defense is because they're playing the Jets.
And that's just a given.
Yeah, that's a given. And then Will Lutz I have for the kicker, but so far Michael Thomas and Calvin Ridley are both questionable. So that's a game time decision on whether I'm going to replace that. I don't even have anything to replace except for Mari Cooper. And then DK Metcalf I can switch up, but those are probably going to be my replacements, but that's game time decision because Michael Thomas, I think after the suspension and turning into another injury, so I don't know if he's going to play or not. And Calvin Ridley, I don't know about the ankle injury or not, but those two I'm going to be game time decisions on whether or not I'm going to play them.
I feel like Mahomes and Derrick Henry, those are just scary guys that you never really know. Everyone else on that roster
is up in the air, I feel.
It's just like they're not that consistent or like great. But Mahomes and Henry, that's really what it comes down to.
Even Henry is a little inconsistent.
And he's playing Bears.
Yeah. But, I mean, Mahomes is always consistent. He's either at least like 25 point. You can count on him to get a 25-point game, like at least, or 20 to 25 points each game, even though he only had 12. I'm going off of our fantasy points, but his lowest fantasy score was 12, and I just don't see that happening again.
Against Denver.
But I just feel like Todd Gurley could go off. Trey just has too many Denver players. That
Todd Gurley could, I guess. I underrate him a lot just because of how bad he started the season against Seattle and Dallas of all people. But whatever.
Yeah, but I'm feeling pretty confident that my team can win. I hope my team can win.
Yeah. Next we have Brendan's Compton Grip versus Espacito Fries. That's Sophia. They're both 5-3, so it'll be interesting to see who moves on to a 6-3 record. That's very.
I need Sophia to win.
Prestigious. Okay, and then a 5-4 record, which is like, ooh, you're on edge. So, definitely a must-win game for both of these in terms of seeding. I'm guessing these guys will both make playoffs, but seeding's important as well.
As of now, Sophia has a 63 win probability, but that is because
Brendan has a bye for Robert Woods and the Eagles defense, so he can replace Eagles defense with Ravens defense, who plays the Colts. As a Colts fan, I will say that's not a bad idea. Well, like, he has to do it, but like, not a bad option regardless. And then Robert Woods, I guess there's Mike Evans
and then Terry McLaurin. He still has an empty spot on his roster, which is confusing.
Yeah, I told him, and it's well, if he ever comes back to our house, and then on her side, she has Myles Gaskin, who's out, or claims to be out. The news says that he's expected to miss the Dolphins' next 3 games due to a sprained MCL. So she'll have to replace him with Ezekiel Elliott.
Lol.
Rip. It's a flex, so she can also replace it with Cooper Kupp's on bye. Kenny Galladay's doubtful. Chris Godwin. So there you go.
I need Sophia to win.
Yeah, and then there's me, and
you have a 77% chance,
which is mainly because Joe Mixon has a bye and Tyler Higbee has a bye. But even still, this is the highest projected value I've ever had. 154 points in our league, which is a point per reception league on ESPN. And that's because McCaffrey's back. Murray's off his bye week. Lockett and Diggs, they can get really high points every now and then. Chris Carson might be back. Everyone's really confused about him because last time he had an injury that people said would take 3 weeks. He was back the next game and did really well, and I had him out, so it was just weird. And right now he's questionable, and it's just a day-by-day basis on seeing how he recovers. Kelsey, of course, is a great tight end option. He's the best available one right now just because Kittle's out now.
I still trade you something.
No, I can't. I can't do that. Also, as we'll get into recent activity, Sophia picked up TJ Hawkinson, and that was my other tight end option that I was wanting. Oof. And I was just I'll get him later. I don't think anyone else will. And then she did. She's fucking, where is
thief.
She? Yeah, fucking stole TJ Hawkinson from me.
And not even going to use it, too.
Not even going to use him. Well, I wasn't going to use him this week, but still. Keenan Allen playing Vegas. I expect that to be really fun. I think... Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he could have a great game again as he did against Broncos. Steelers defense against Dallas. I really need this to be how it's prophesized. I don't want any surprise Cowboy victory, especially because it's the Cowboys of all people.
Imagine if Daddy or Ben DeVicho, whatever his name is.
Yeah, whatever.
I tweeted when I was watching the Eagles Cowboys. He's in my top 3 all time hated Cowboys for me personally.
I don't give it's funny but it's stupid.
Yeah.
And then Young Hoku, that kicker.
Yeah, I think you're going to dominate this week regardless because just of who your players are as a player in general, but who their
players, dude, Adams and Jones are just scary.
Yeah, I have nothing to threat, but
wait, who's she gonna replace? Both her other running backs are fucking gone. I guess Edwards-Helaire is in the flex. He can move that up and then put in Allen Robinson or A.J. Brown, which are both really good options.
She still needs, a running back, though.
I no. What do you mean? She moves Helaire up.
Oh, I guess Drake is questionable. I was just saying if he didn't play.
Oh, if he didn't, then well.
But just who your players are playing this week is just they should get so many fantasy points.
The matchups look good. I mean, well, Miami defense seems to be really good against another NFC
West
true. Team. So, I mean,
I think that was just lucky.
Yeah. Kyler Murray is not the same as fucking. What even is his name?
Jared
Goff. Yeah. They're definitely not the same. But
I'm conflicted who I want to win here, because.
What do you mean me?
Well, Lisi has 2 and 6.
You probably don't want me to win. I think she's just a lost cause. So why would you want her to win?
Yeah, exactly. So, but if I have her beat you, she's not going to. But just hypothetically, if she beats you, that betters my cause in the playoffs. But I mean, I just don't see how she's gonna win.
You're speaking a lot of things.
Yeah. I'm just looking out for my chances in the playoffs because even though Alicia's in my division, she's not going to do anything. But you're going to do something in the playoffs,
Maybe.
All right, so do you want to protect the games? No? Oh, wait, no, transactions.
I mean, I think the only transaction that there was the one I said.
There was some few things that happened after.
Yeah, Odell got dropped as everyone expected, and, well, you fucking picked up Richard Rodgers. And then dropped him immediately.
Okay, wait. So
How'd he do? Oh, he didn't get anything.
Did we cover the 28th? Wait, was there more transactions that happened after this?
No, we talked about these.
We talked about Esposito dropping
the
49ers, and then...
We talked about Justin Herbert.
We did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But
I mean, we've been talking about it a lot right now, so.
So wait, the 28th so after we recorded it, the 4 p.m. So this happened all after the podcast. So we talked about Herbert and stuff. I dropped Le'Veon Bell and I picked up Ronald Jones. Because Ronald Jones is looking really good. He only got 6 points, but like Le'Veon Bell is not going to do anything. And then I dropped Robert Tonyan.
Who you shouldn't have. He actually did good.
How did he do?
12.9.
Damn it. But I added Richard Rodgers. Richard Rodgers didn't do anything, but I immediately dropped him because I saw that Dallas Goedert is like healthy. So I was like, I'll just replace another Eagle for an Eagle. And then Sophia picked up TJ Hawkinson, like we said. So yeah, that's all the things. So bless you.
Okay, let's run through these NFL predictions. Woo!
Yeah.
So
you want to go first?
The injured 4-4 49ers play the 5-2 Green Bay in a Thursday night matchup.
This is actually a really good Thursday night matchup.
It would be if the 49ers weren't so injured.
Yeah. So you wanna say your first?
I mean, mine are already in there. You'll find them out.
Yeah, but you could say who you're thinking.
No.
First,
no.
and then
let's not play these games. We're gonna run through these. Okay, let's go.
Okay, fine. Packers.
You got Packers.
Yeah.
I have Packers.
Yes.
Next, we have Denver at 3-4, coming off a hot win against Atlanta 2-6. Also coming off a pretty decent primetime win in this 1:00 Sunday matchup. Who do you have?
Falcons,
really?
Yeah.
Explain.
Upset. And I just wanted an upset. And
Is it an upset? Is Atlanta over Denver really an upset?
Yeah, because the Broncos beat the Chargers. And the Falcons are looking awful, and they're probably going to blow a lead.
I also chose Atlanta.
Well, wait. Okay, I saw statistics where it was like 4 games in a row or something that Atlanta had a 99.9%, or just 4 games in general this season where they had a 99.9% chance of winning, but then they ended up losing. And you're more likely to get eaten by a shark while getting struck by lightning at the same time than that happening. Falcons are a really good team. They're just like blowing it. They should be like 6-2 right now. But I don't understand.
I feel like we shouldn't be comparing the ESPN projections to like actual statistics when it comes to getting eaten by a shark. And
yeah, that is true.
I feel like, ESPN does a good job with that whole like diagram and whatever when it comes to percentages, but like I feel like it's just not a comparable like statistic. Like we shouldn't be matching those up. Anyways, Seattle 6-1. Coming off of a good divisional win after losing in a really tough divisional win as well, So
yeah, Seahawks.
They have some momentum going. Versus Buffalo, who also got off a divisional win, but like that should have been more.
Yeah.
That should have been more blown to pieces than it was.
I think the Falcons and the Bills should just swap records, to be honest, because Bills are the worst 6-2.
No, I don't think Atlanta should be 6-2 either. I think they should be 4-4.
Yeah, but there are 4 games that they had a 99 point.
I don't care. Yeah. I still think they should be 4-4 because, like, dude, if you fail to win games, like, that's still a big point. Like, it's the whole game.
Yeah.
You're in it for the whole game, and if you can't do that, then,
yeah,
you deserve a couple of those losses at minimum.
But still, I still think the Bills are the worst 6-2 team in the league, and the Falcons definitely are the best 2-6.
But Buffalo still doesn't deserve to be 2-6. Like, Buffalo's, like, give credit to Buffalo defense, and, I don't know, whatever else is on.
I guess they did have a good 4-game stretch.
Yeah, it was
or
really
whatever.
Good. Josh Allen was great. He deserves those ones.
Yeah. Oh, well, I take back what I said, but the Seahawks are going to win.
I also chose Seahawks. Obviously, I'm a big Seattle fan.
And then the Bears-Titans.
Bears-Titans, this is an interesting one. Do you think Titans will end their losing streak after the amazing win streak and not turn into another Buffalo? Or do you think Chicago will have a great game, and Foles will prove himself to be the worthy starter.
This is a coin flip, to be honest.
You really think it's a coin flip?
I say Bears.
You say Bears. I also said Bears, just because I feel like momentum-wise, it's just going that direction. I mean, Chicago doesn't have great momentum, but Tennessee's really starting to fall off.
Yeah.
So, Indianapolis versus Baltimore. Who you got?
I know that you picked the Colts to win, but I'm going to pick the Ravens.
How do you know I picked the Colts? I did, but how'd you know?
Because you're a Colts fan. The probability of you...
I'm objective.
No, but like the probability of you picking the Colts is higher than the probability of you not picking the Colts.
I don't think that's true. I'm objective. If these were two evenly matched teams, I'd weigh them in the same way.
Yeah, but if it's like more of a coin flip, I feel like you would side with it. If it's a coin flip, you would side with the Colts all the time. Because this is kind of a coin flip. Colts defense?
I genuinely don't think it's a coin flip. I think Lamar Jackson is just not looking good, and that's just it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Ravens defense is good, but not good enough. Whereas Colts defense has been great, and Phillip Rivers the past 2 games has been great. So the trends are going that direction.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's our first mismatch. So then we have KC, the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
Against the Panthers. You got the Chiefs?
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
I also have the Chiefs because that's just... Chiefs just look great. Chiefs just look too good.
Lions, Vikings. Vikings coming off a great win.
They were coming off a great divisional win, and if they want anything to do with, any success in this division, this is also equally as important as beating the Packers. Whereas Lions, they're looking for the same thing. They haven't had as much... They haven't had the same, great win as the Vikings have had against Packers, but still, this would be huge for Detroit.
I'm going to say the Vikings.
Really?
Yeah.
I said Detroit. Why do you say the Vikings?
I mean, I guess Cook is not going to have as great of a game as he had versus the Green Bay. I don't know. I just feel like the Vikings are having more pieces fall for them than the Lions. And I feel like the Vikings can just carry this momentum that they have and beat the Lions. Because the Lions got destroyed against the Colts. Granted, it was the Colts, but I mean...
I love when you say that.
But I mean... but still, I don't know. I have more faith in the Vikings.
Wild. I love Detroit, but I also just think they're more well-rounded than the Vikings right now. I feel like... Vikings rushing offense and defense is amazing, but everything else is bad. And Matthew Stafford's a consistent quarterback with some consistent options. Even if they're not great, it'll still tear up Minnesota with their bad secondary. And they have an okay offensive line, as far as I know. And DeAndre Swift, Adrian Peterson have been a good pair.
Yeah.
Even against this, scary Minnesota Vikings rushing defense. And Detroit defense has looked really good in some games as well. So, yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Whereas Green Bay defense hasn't looked we never were they're great,
Yeah, that is true.
Giants,
Washington.
This is interesting. I actually forgot what I chose here, but who would you choose?
I say Redskins.
Really? You chose Washington? I chose Giants.
Really? I just want the Redskins to win.
Oh, okay. I think.
Wait, no, fuck. I don't want the Washington to win. Scratch that. I just forgot how bad the NFC East is, so I need the Giants to win.
Okay.
I'm rooting for the Giants.
You're rooting for them, but do you choose them?
No, I'm gonna keep the same just for the sake of being different than you.
Okay.
Texans, Jaguars, a dumpster fire, but I'm going to pick the Texans.
Me too. I think everyone's on that train, even though Texans are 1-6. They are just not as bad as Jacksonville. Here's a good one.
Raiders, Chargers.
The two teams that have moved from their respective California cities.
Yep. I'm gonna pick the Raiders on this one. More
interesting. I chose Chargers.
Really?
I think they gotta get a win somewhere. And the Raiders might as well be the Raiders. They're not great.
Yeah, that is true. I just have more faith in the Raiders. Steelers, Cowboys, Steelers. That's an obvious one for obvious reasons.
Cowboys are making an argument for being the worst team in the league as of this moment.
Yeah.
Even though the Jets, I feel like, have that sealed. Like, you never know. Dallas may be in the running.
Dolphins, Cardinals. I'm waiting to pick the Cardinals. I want the Dolphins to win though. but Cardinals are more complete team, and the Dolphins defense is not going to have a great of defensive game as they did last time.
Yeah, I'm choosing Arizona as well. I feel like you summed that up pretty well. New Orleans versus Tampa Bay.
I got the Bucs winning this one, even though they played shitty against the Giants. It's just the Giants' curse on Tom Brady, but I'm going to say the Bucs because they're just more complete and they're playing well.
Yeah, I got Bucs as well. I thought you'd go New Orleans, honestly. But finally, we have New England versus the Jets.
It stopped. Fuck. I thought we were going to time that perfectly, but it didn't.
Finally, it's Jets versus New England. Will the Jets finally get their one win that they need to say that they at least got one win? And will Cam Newton not prove to be the worst player in the world?
I'm going to pick I want to pick the Jets. It's so bad. Because I want the Jets to win so badly. This is so hard.
Will he do it?
Will I pick the Jets for the first time all season between the both of us?
It's true. None of us have ever picked the Jets ever.
Is it going to happen? Am I going to do this?
If they are going to get a win and you are going to win your bet, by the way, this would be the opportunity. This is basically their only opportunity because they're not going to get any more opportunities after this.
I'm going to say I'm Jets.
Oh my god, you're crazy. I went New England.
It's probably the dumbest pick that I've had either of us had all.
So we have 5 disparities. Indianapolis, Baltimore, Detroit, Minnesota, Giants, Washington, Chargers, Vegas, New England, New York, Jets, Jets. We should have Sophia over for that game.
Yeah.
Because we haven't actually watched any game with her, have we? I guess maybe some Eagles ones. But
yeah.
Yeah, Sophia, a.k.a. Esposito Fries, is a Jets fan. What a fucking joke. Anyways.
What a loser.
That's it all for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Some great commentary from Caleb over here. You did a great job, Caleb.
Thank you. And then you did an even better job.
Thank you.
Titus Oldham, co-host of the League of Wings podcast.
Thank you. Make sure to go vote. That's a bad joke.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Wait, who'd they call? They called Wisconsin?
Is Wisconsin red or blue?
Blue.
Where is Wisconsin located?
It's here.
No,
that early on, it was looking like... Oh, it's within 1% though, so Trump's going to call a recount. That's huge though. Everyone was saying it was going to be Wisconsin. I mean, everyone said that Trump was going to win Wisconsin. Especially early on.
Are they a swing state? Do you know?
Yeah, they are. That was one of the, basically every state left is a swing state except Alaska. And Alaska's just late because they're stupid. And all the way over there, so...
Yeah. Can you stop the recording?
Oh, yeah.